Monday edition of PFT Live, 5 words or less style. We begin with the Bills beating the Browns 23-20. Josh Allen overcame what he called a tweak to his foot. He said it flamed up on him a little bit. The pain subsided. When they asked him, did it affect you in the second half? It was not a convincing, no, I don't think so. So that's interesting going forward. But give me your 5 words or less for what that game means.
He's got some help. That's what I'll say, right? I mean, we kind of said this last night in Football Night in America. It didn't feel like, in the last few weeks, kind of feel like this, where Josh Allen hasn't had to just save the day and make every miraculous play known to mankind. I think that's the biggest positive. The Bills, it's a scary game playing Cleveland, as you know. And the Cleveland defense was awesome in the second half, right? I mean, Shedeur Sanders' bad interception in his own area, where he held the ball and the ball got tipped in the air, the second interception, that was the only points of the second half for the Bills. And they went at a 2-yard drive right there. That game was there to be had for Cleveland, but regardless, the fact that Buffalo made plays on defense and did a good job there, didn't let Cleveland in the end zone a whole bunch, and then their run game, once again, is showing to be a real force. That's the positive for the Buffalo Bills.
James Cook now leads the NFL in rushing. He passed Jonathan Taylor. Taylor gets a chance tonight to pass him. My 5 words, and I think it is 5 words.
Look at him
They go like this: meatloaf, smeatloaf, double beat loaf.
Wow.
You know what that is?
I don't.
That's Randy from A Christmas Story playing with his food.
Wow.
He wouldn't eat. He was playing with his food. The Bills play with their food.
Yeah.
They're starting to play with their food a little bit too much.
Well, I think it's the Bills are, as we've talked about, in the AFC, they're one of those teams where you go, they're not totally complete. They got some issues with their team. They're the worst run defense in football. So with that, and the Browns had a pretty good plan of running the ball and screens and reverses and speed sweeps to do things there, to where the Bills are susceptible to these kind of games from time to time.
By the way, what the hell was wrong with Randy? Meatloaf is awesome.
Oh.
Who doesn't like meatloaf?
I would say I don't really like meatloaf.
No, that doesn't surprise me, meathead.
I mean, let me just
All
throw
right.
a bunch of meat into a loaf. And
that's right. Yeah, and it's simple. It's
all
right.
Right.
It's not a bunch of meat. It's one meat. It's
Isn't
not
it?
like pig and cow and deer and horse and whatever else they happen to find.
Right. Yeah.
It's the
I like
meat
my bread
of one
to be a
animal.
loaf and the meat to be a meat. I don't like the combination. All right.
All right. Texans defeat the Raiders 23-21. Give me your 5 words.
Woo, that was close. But that was a game where, kind of shocking. Not that Houston's offense wasn't all that special, right? We know that Houston's offense can be somewhat bland at times. But it was really bland yesterday, with the Raiders definitely giving C.J. Stroud and company some problems. But I think the shocker of the day is just that, some of the big plays we saw the Raiders defense make on the Houston Texans. Ashton Genty, big touchdown catch. Ashton Genty, big touchdown run. We haven't seen anybody do that to the Houston Texans. Kind of felt like they were sleeping a little bit in that football game, a little closer than it should have been.
Doesn't change a thing for Raiders. I may have added an extra word. Hey, it's great that they didn't get blown out. They still have to hit the reset button. There are no moral victories. This team needs to be torn down and rebuilt, period. They almost got lucky. They almost got a win. They still lost. They didn't screw up their draft position. They need to tear this thing down. And there was nothing that happened yesterday that changed my mind. It's not like all of a sudden there's some different team. They're still the Raiders. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, or you're going to win few and lose most, as they are. And the losing streak continues. 9 games now, the longest of Pete Carroll's career by several games. I just feel like it's, we're 2 weeks away from saying that Pete Carroll has retired by agreement, and if he doesn't choose to retire, they're going to fire him.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be shocked by that development. It's not been a good look from the Las Vegas Raiders this year.
Bengals beat the Dolphins. Give me your 5 words or less.
My record is safe. Hook 'em. Yes, I'm still the last Texas quarterback to win his first start.
Arch, you're our only hope. Arch, please, 2027, please win your first start. Please win your first start. Is that those shoulder pads?
Yeah.
Good Lord, how the game has changed in 25 years. You look like you were playing offensive line.
Yeah, I did.
And even by those standards, they look huge. Were those Mike Allstott shoulder pads you were wearing in Texas?
Not at all. My shoulder pads probably would have been one of the smaller ones.
Isn't that amazing, though?
My shoulder pads you see on the left are the same ones I'm wearing on the right.
Who would have thought that the NFL world would go the way of Ed McCaffrey? Remember he had those little kid Halloween
it became
costume
about
pads?
be faster, and the technology got better with all this equipment.
Do they get more protection from the?
The new shoulder pads are amazing. Yeah. They are. You still feel like it's every bit as protected as the giant ones we used to see back in the old days. But the Bengals, my record is saved because my man Joe Burrow was like, "Hey, I like Simms. I want to make sure."
Burrow's happy,
but of course he is. I mean, when you go down to South Florida and you torch a team like that, he was on fire. Certainly, Quinn Ewers did some good things. Tough position to be put in there.
It was a close game.
But
it was 17-14.
No doubt about it.
And then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. Next thing you know, it's 45-17. I am told, though, I said this last night on Football Night in America, Joe Burrow is not going to push to be traded. Doesn't mean they're not going to get calls. I think there was a report over the weekend that was aimed at making sure people understand if you want to call, you can. But Burrow's not going to push for it. I think Burrow knows he can't push for it. But if the opportunity would arise to play for a team that may put him in better position to compete for championships, I doubt that he would say no. I don't know that. All I know is he's not going to push to be traded. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.